Good evening, viewers. This is English News Broadcast live from our headquarters in Asmara. It's 10:30 p.m. Monday, October 18. I'm the reporter Mira Johannes, wishing all the Muslim faith followers happy Eid Mawlid al-Nabi, and here's a rundown of the top stories we're covering. Eid Mawlid colorfully celebrated. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. Floods and landslides in India. Russia shuts mission to NATO and spy raw. And now we proceed to the details for the local news. Eid Mawlid al-Nabi was colorfully celebrated across the nation today, October 18, within the confines of the COVID-19 guidelines. The observance, held in the morning hours at the Al-Khulafa Al-Rashidin Grand Mosque, was broadcast live via ERi-TV. Mr. Mohammed Saeed Bashir, chairman of the Awqaf in Asmara, congratulating the faithful, said that the broadcast live of the observance via the Eritrean television with respect to the guidelines issued to control the spread of COVID-19 pandemic will help the faithful follow the ceremony in their homes. Sheikh Salim Ibrahim al-Mukhtar, Mufti of Eritrea, on his part gave briefing on the historical background of the celebration and congratulated the Eritrean people inside the country and abroad in general, and to the faithful in particular, as well as the Eritrean Defense Forces. The Eid Mawlid celebration was highlighted by spiritual performances. We have an announcement from the Ministry of Health. 2 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 and test is carried out today at testing stations in the central region. Accordingly, the total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 6,776. The total number of recovered patients stands at 6,677, while the number of deaths at 44. Ministry of Health, Asmara, October 18, 2021. Government employees and national organizations and associations in Tesane City conducted environmental sanitation popular campaign at the Tesane Hospital. According to Mr. Abdul Hamid Ismail, Secretary of the PFDJ branch in Tesane subzone, over 800 manpower participated at the program. The administrator of the hospital, Mr. Jonas Johannes, also commended the initiative taken by the government employees and national organizations and associations. In related news, residents of Hainaba administrative area and members of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in Adayh subzone collected the harvest of members of the Eritrean Defense Forces that are on national duty in the area. Mr. Jamal Mohammed Shifa, administrator of the Hainaba administrative area, said that the popular campaign was part of the activity the residents are conducting every year and that so far farms of over 26 families of members of the Eritrean Defense Forces have been collected. Mr. Jamal also said that the initiative is ongoing until every farm of the members of the Defense Forces that are on national duty are collected. Coming up after our short break is your international news. Stay with us. Welcome back. Floods and landslides due to incessant rain in India's Kerala state has left 21 dead, according to media reports on Sunday. Rescue operations were underway by the Indian Army and Navy in the Kottayam and Idukki districts. Kerala state was also a victim to the worst floods in a century in 2018 that had killed at least 400 people and displaced around 200,000. Annual rainfall is essential in India as rains support 2/3 of the 1.3 billion population living in rural areas who rely on farming. However, excessive rainfall causes problems like floods, landslides, and waterborne diseases. Russia said today it would halt the activities of the diplomatic mission to NATO after the alliance expelled 8 Russians in a row over spying. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that, in return, staff at the NATO's military mission in Moscow would be stripped of their accreditation from November 1. Lavrov was also quoted as saying, "If NATO members have any urgent matters, they can contact our ambassador in Belgium on these questions." NATO said on October 6 it had expelled 8 members of Russia's mission to the alliance, who it said were undeclared Russian intelligence officers. The dispute marks the latest decline in East-West ties that are already at post-Cold War lows. Russia accuses NATO of provocative activity close to its borders and recently staged major exercises of its own. The alliance says it's determined to reinforce the security of member states close to Russia following Moscow's annexation of the Crimea Peninsula from Ukraine in 2014 and backing for its separatists in eastern Ukraine. In our final news, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said today that China tested a space vehicle in July, not a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile, as reported by the Financial Times. Quoting 5 people familiar with the matter, the Financial Times reported on Saturday, October 16, that China had tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile that flew through space, circling the globe before cruising down towards its target, which it missed by about 2,000 miles. The paper said the feat had caught U.S. intelligence by surprise. Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian told a regular press briefing in Beijing that it was not a missile but a space vehicle when asked about the report, adding it had been a routine test for the purpose of testing technology to reuse the vehicle. The Foreign Ministry said the test had taken place in July, not in August, as reported by the Financial Times. The United States is closely watching China's military modernization program to assess the possible risks posed to it by its increasingly assertive strategic competitor. Following is a recap of our top stories. Eid Mawlid colorfully celebrated. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. Russia shuts mission to NATO in spiral. Floods and landslides in India. That was all for tonight. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Again, happy Eid Mawlid al-Nabi.